Thursday, June 27th, 2024. I have a few baseball winners, and I've never really given you guys any of these before, including one that's at plus 140 value. So you're definitely going to want to stick for that. And then we do have WNBA action on today. So I did sprinkle a little bit of WNBA plays in there as well. This is the free three. Let's get into it. What's up, guys? It's your boy Noble Living back with another DYF Bets video. I'm breaking down my favorite picks and plays of the day. I just try to get to the bag together, and we're just trying to get to that money. Yesterday wasn't our best day on the channel. I told you guys it wasn't really a day that I was really happy with a lot of the evening games, and I was absolutely correct. If you were inside the Discord group, you would have made money yesterday because we cashed in on a lot of games and a lot of bets early, but later on in the day is when Vegas went and snatched that money back up. We wanted to take the Yankees on the money line. You could have gotten them at much better value. It was like minus 145 to start the day. By the time the game started, it was at like minus 120. I was not a big fan of the line movement, but at the same time, it happens. That bet lost. I think the rain delay hurt us a little bit, but at the end of the day, Mets offense right now, undeniable force. We really shouldn't have faded them. That we move. Dodgers, White Sox, nerfy. It's crazy. If there's so many nerfies that I've given out this year, especially in the Discord group, where the first pitch, the first at bat, the first hitter has ruined it and knocked it out of the park. That's what happened yesterday. Shohei Ohtani leadoff home run. If we literally just hedged all the times that would have happened, then we would be up for sure with those home run lays. So 0-2 yesterday on the channel. I also gave you the Red Sox team total. That game ended in a rain out, so it did not actually go through. So no action on that. Quick little 0-2 yesterday. Not really my favorite day on the channel because we laid juice on those plays. And like I said, I just didn't like those plays, but it happens. But today we're going to make up for it because I love these MLB plays that we got on the board today. A ton of action out here. I could literally give like 6-8 plays today. I'm not going to go that crazy, but I am going to go crazy because I am going to give you guys a little bit of bonus plays, something a little bit extra than I normally usually do. So make sure you smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. And let's dive into these winners for today. For my first best bet of the day, let us go to the Braves matchup as the Braves are taking on the White Sox. And I'm going to take Mr. Chris Sale here, and I'm going to go over 18.5 pitching outs, not 17.5 like I usually give out, or 16.5, 18.5. So he has to get through the 6th inning and a part of the 7th inning, and that will get us to plus 140 odds. So I'm going to give you guys the best juice, the best value play of the day straight off the gate. The reason why I really like this pick is, one, the line opened up at 17.5. It's super juiced up, but Chris Sale is a guy that when he does go 6 innings, he typically starts the 7th inning as well. We've seen that at 8 of the last 9 starts for him where he's gone at least 6 innings. He's also gotten over this 18.5 pitching outs as well, because that means we have to get 6 1/3 here. Now the Braves are facing the White Sox in Chicago. Keep in mind that Chris Sale has not pitched in Chicago since 2019, so it's been a little bit of a time since he's been there, but I think this will be a good refresher for him and a good kind of like, not a homecoming because I don't think he's from Chicago, but it'll be a good, it's always good to go back to some of the former places where you used to play, right? And a stadium that he's actually very familiar with. And then when you keep in fact in mind that the White Sox offense has been one of the worst in baseball over the past month, and Chris Sale has been one of the best pitchers in the National League all year, it gives me the confidence to take Chris Sale here. Chicago also is a team that does not take a lot of pitches. They're not very disciplined at the plate. And when you're not disciplined at the plate, what does that mean? That means that you're not making the pitcher work for his strikes. You're not making him work for his pitches, and he can get through a lot of quick innings, especially if you're making contact quickly or you're getting 3-pitch strikeouts, and that's something that Chris Sale, we know what his dynamic stuff can be. 2.91 ERA, 107 strikeouts on the year. That's best. That's 9th best in the National League. So Chris Sale is a guy that's not only going to miss bats, but it's also going to help that the White Sox are probably not going to be that patient up there. And Chris Sale is a guy that we've seen go deep into games. Pitching 100 pitches is not something that's unfamiliar to him. He's done it several times this year. He had 95 pitches last start against the Yankees, 105 to start before that against the Tampa Bay Rays, 102 the start before that against the Nationals. So we've seen him be able to consistently do this. And also keep in mind, the Braves had a doubleheader yesterday. When you have a doubleheader, that means you work more bullpen arms, less time to rest. So you typically need your starter to go deeper into the game here. Chris Sale over 18.5 pitching outs. We love the value that we're getting at this one here as our first pick of the day. Now my second best bet is also going to be with a pitcher, but it's going to be a little bit different because it's not going to be a pitching out. It's not going to be a strikeout. It's actually, we're going to go Zach Wheeler to record a win, minus 135 odds. Now, this is my way of taking the Phillies on the money line without laying the minus 300 or without laying the run line at minus 145, minus 150 that I'm seeing at certain books, or laying the minus 2.5 run line. Those are all alternate ways that you can take this bet. But for me, I'm not a big fan of taking 2.5, 3.5 spreads in baseball unless it's like live. Just really not a fan of it. So because of that, I'm just going to go Zach Wheeler to record a win. So what does this mean? This just simply means that, you know, when you got a pitcher's record, like Chris Sale is 10-2 on the year, right? That's what I mentioned. When you got Zach Wheeler, he's 9-4 on the year. I'm expecting him to get his record to 10-4 by the end of today's performance, because I think the Phillies are going to have the lead by the time that he leaves the game, and they're going to hold all the way through the entire game. Zach Wheeler has been really strong for the Phillies. Like I mentioned, 9-4 record. That's 4th best in the National League with a 2.73 ERA, which is 11th best in the National League, to go with 107 strikeouts himself. So he's tied with Chris Sale there. So you can kind of see both the pitchers that were back in today are very dynamic pitchers. Zach Wheeler's coming off a start where the Phillies did pick up the win 12-1 against the Diamondbacks. 7 innings, 2 hits, 1 earned run to go with 8 strikeouts and no walks. That's exactly what we love to see. That's how dialed Zach Wheeler can be. And he's also at home in this matchup, and he was at home in that matchup. We've seen what his home road splits have looked like this year. He's been very strong at home, 1.66 ERA compared to 4.35 on the road. And also keep in mind that they're playing a Marlins offense that is just bottom 10 in the league, not only in runs per game, but in a lot of power. They're not hitting the ball that well right now. They're 12-25 on the road. They're also sending Trevor Rogers to the mound, who's 1-8 on the year with a 4.9 ERA. And besides his last start against the Mariners, where the Marlins were able to win that game in extra innings, last 5 starts before that, Marlins lost those games outright. I'm expecting the Phillies to jump out on Rogers quick and early here. I'm expecting Zach Wheeler to go deep in this game. And also, his pitching outs is at 20.5 on certain books. They're literally banking on him going 7 innings today. So because of that, that means that he should be in the game for a long time, which should give him enough time to get the run support. Zach Wheeler to record a win is just our way of grabbing the Phillies on the money line or run line at just a much cheaper value here. My third best bet of the day, let us go to the WNBA. I'm going to switch it up. Again, this is a different show. We're trying different things. When you're cold, when you're trying to find a rhythm, you sometimes have to switch it up. And we're going to go with 3 teams to get it done on the money line today. The Seattle Storm, the Connecticut Sun, the Las Vegas Aces, all on the money line. Parlay those together, it gets you minus 125 odds. Yes, I would love to get to plus money value on this, but just because of the odds that we're getting on these individual teams here in the WNBA, it's just a little bit hard for us to get there when it comes down to the value, considering the fact that all these teams are literally 5, 6, 7. The Aces are 10.5 point favorites, so it's going to be really hard for us to get them on the money line. Same thing with the Connecticut Sun here. So let's start off with the first game of the day, the Connecticut Sun. They're taking on the Washington Mystics. The Sun are 10.5 point favorites in this matchup. 13-3 on the year. Meanwhile, the Mystics are 4-13 on the year. I'm not overthinking it. The Sun are just the better team, okay? They have just a lot better players. And this is the thing in the WNBA. It's like the divide between the really good teams and the really bad teams is really there. Not to say that anything can't happen on a given night for sure, but this is just one of those things where I'm not going to see it happen tonight where the Connecticut Sun are going to lose outright to the Washington Mystics. They might not cover the 10.5 point spread. I'm not going to go that far and say that, but I do think that they are going to win this game. Also, keep in mind, this is a Connecticut Sun team that started the year 13-1, and they're now 13-3. So they lost their last 2 games in a row. This is a great bounce back spot for them against a weaker and inferior opponent. And the Mystics, they might have some confidence right now with the fact that they beat Dallas 2 games in a row, but Dallas kind of sucks, let's be honest. So for us, Connecticut Sun on the money line. Now, Las Vegas Aces are taking on the Chicago Sky here. They are also 10.5, 11-point favorites. The first time these two teams have faced off this year. And this is the game that I'm a little bit worried about in terms of Chicago Sky can really win this game outright, if I'm being honest, with the form that they've been in. They've been playing some really good basketball. But ever since the Aces got Chelsea Gray back, she has not fully been acclimated all the way fully into the lineup just yet, but she has given them a spark and a boost in the 2 games that she has played. The Aces have been able to pick up 2 big wins, one against the Connecticut Sun, where they cover the 5-point spread, and then another one against the Seattle Storm, where they cover the 6.5 point point spread in that one. So for me, I just like the Aces in this matchup this year. They have not been that strong against the number this year, 5-9 against the number, but that's what gets me a little bit hesitant about laying the 10.5. But overall, they should be able to win this game. I don't see anybody for the Sky having the size to be able to compete with Asia Wilson and stop just that dynamic Aces team. So give me them on the money line. And then Seattle Storm is the last pick of the day. That is a late night 10 p.m. matchup, and they're taking on the Indiana Fever. Indiana has been playing much better of late, but Seattle Storm is still a really good team, 10-6 on the year. Meanwhile, the Indiana Fever are 7-11 on the year and 3-7 on the road. Seattle Storm at home, 5-1 at home, and the Seattle Storm have picked up a few wins lately, especially their last win against the Connecticut Sun. That should give them the confidence coming into this matchup here today. So I'm not overthinking it. 3 teams to get it done in the WNBA. Give me those 3 as our third best bet of the day. Now, don't leave the channel just yet, because I have one last best bet for you, and it's also in the WNBA, so let me give it to you guys real quick, all right? All right, so for my last bonus pick of the day, I'm actually going to give you 2 quick bonus picks, and they're both in the same game, both on the same team, and one is kind of a way of hedging off the other one. Hopefully we can hit both of them, but what we're going to do is go to the Vegas and Chicago Sky matchup, and we're going to go with Angel Reese, Camila Cardoso. We're both going to go for their rebound lines. Angel Reese over 12 rebounds, because her line right now is at 11.5. Cardoso over 9.5 rebounds, so 10 rebounds. Her line right now is at about 9.5. You put those together as individual picks. Don't parlay them. Individual picks. If we could tease it down, we would have done that, but WNBA hasn't given us all those options just yet. So we're going to do -120 for Angel Reese's rebounds, Cardoso her rebounds. Now, the reason why I like both of these girls is because they've been absolutely a beast on the boards. If you've been a part of the Discord group, a part of the family, then you guys know how much I love Angel Reese. Angel Reese, well, as a player, I like Angel Reese in the sense of what she's been doing for our pockets this year and making us money, especially on these rebound lines. Now, I want to break this down for you guys real quick and kind of show you what's been going on with Angel Reese's lines here on the rebounds. I got my phone pulled up here, so I apologize for looking down here. So Angel Reese, over her last 2, 4, 6, 8 games, her rebound number has gone up, and she's gone over the line in each of the games. Literally, it started out at the beginning of the year when we were taking it at like 7.5. Now it's all the way up to 11.5, and she's still gone over this number. In her last start, 16 rebounds against the Fever. Her start before that against Dallas, 18 rebounds. Her start against that, before that again against the Fever, 13 rebounds, 14 rebounds against the Mystics, 10 rebounds against the Sun. So Angel Reese is averaging 11 rebounds per game. Now they're facing the Las Vegas Aces, a game that these girls should be able to get up for, considering the fact that the Aces are the best team in the WNBA, 2-time defending WNBA champion. But also, this is a game that I think if Angel Reese is trying to show that she's one of the big dogs, the next one up, you're going to want to go at Asia Wilson. You're going to want to show that you can compete with her. So because of that, I think that you're going to be able to get the rebound opportunity. And as long as it just doesn't end in a blowout, which it possibly can, then there's a reason why we should be able to flirt with this number. Angel Reese is averaging over 30 minutes per game right now as well. So the volume in terms of being on the court should be there. And I just love the confidence that she's playing with right now. 8 of 12 shooting from the field in her last game, 7 of 13 in the game before that. So she's really getting her confidence up. She's getting to the free throw line. I love to see that. Now, Cardoso on the other side is somebody who's starting to get her way into the rotation, getting her conditioning, getting more minutes. And as she's doing that, she's starting to be more effective on the floor. Over the last week or two, she's been averaging close to about 28 minutes per game or so, which is way higher than earlier in the season where she was barely getting any playing time, 15 minutes, 12 minutes, 13 minutes. And that was because she was coming off of the injury. But over the last several games, against the Fever, 10 rebounds, against Dallas, 11 rebounds, against the Fever the game before that, 10 rebounds. So she's gone over this number in 3 straight. She had 9 rebounds against the Sun a week or 2 ago as well. So I love to see that. And she's also somebody who's gone over her number the last 5 of 6 times. The only time that she did not go over was against the Mystics, and that's when she only grabbed 4 rebounds in 24 minutes in that matchup. So for me, I believe that both of these women are going to have to be on the court today to keep up with the size that the Vegas Aces have as well, which means more rebounding opportunities. We have a high total at 170. We've seen both of these teams be a little bit more towards the under as a team this year, but because they have high totals, the games have been going over recently. I'm expecting a lot of shots, a lot of volume. Give me these 2 girls to grab these rebounds here to tuck us in for the night. Well, that's it for me today, my friends. I know it was a little bit extra I gave you today, but I want to switch it up. Maybe we can rebound a little bit today. So really 5 best bets I've given you on the card for today. Give me Chris Sale over 18.5 pitching outs at really good plus 140 value there. Give me Zach Wheeler to record a win for the Phillies. Give me the 3-leg parlay between the Storm, the Aces, and the Sun on the money line. And give me Angel Reese over 11.5 rebounds and Cardosa over 9.5 rebounds to tuck us in. For more picks and plays and bets that I'm dropping throughout the day, not gonna lie, I don't know how many extra plays I'm gonna have because I just gave you guys 5. I'll have a few extra in the MLB, including a Nerfy of the day. So click the link in the description, join the free Discord group, and I've got you guys in there. All right, my friends, let's get to that cheddar, and I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Later, gang.